My name is Anthony Vereen. Today I will be conducting a presentation on interpersonal communication as a project for my Human Services 508 class at Liberty University. We will cover the following areas throughout this presentation. What is communication and interpersonal communication? How to enlarge the conversation. Overarching goals. The effect of the background and behavior blend has on communication. Potential barriers and how to handle these barriers. What are the types of noise pollution and how to control them? And lastly, a plan of action. Next slide. Stewart defines communication as the continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and non-verbal meaning making. Interpersonal communication happens when people involved talk and listen in ways that maximize the presence of the personal. To make it simpler, it can be described as a participant who are dependent upon one another. It can involve one-on-one conversations or individual interactions with many people within a society. This can involve texting, email, and various social media. Next slide, please. My overarching goal is to become a more effective listener and effective communicator. As we live in a society where it is important that we know how to communicate with each other. As I become an effective listener and communicator, this will ultimately enable me to affect lives of people in a positive manner, which will bring about change in our world. Ferrari stated, by showing respect for the conversation of others, spending less time talking, and challenging the expectation that informs conversation, people can not only improve their own listening and communication skills, but also that of others. Moving forward, let's take a look at enlarging the conversation. My definition of enlarging the conversation is to take new and useful information by listing and identifying strengths as well as weaknesses to further the conversation with others. I believe that probing is a necessary skill for enlarging the conversation. As suggested by one researcher in particular, probing influences the ability to think through various situations as well as raise the right questions at the right time. Next slide, please. My behavior blends assessments, which describes specific personality types. In the area of this is expected of me, my personality type is SD. This is what I may perceive people's expectations are of me. I am expected to have a lot of drive and determination, to want to be a dreamer and a hard worker, to be strong-willed. On the other hand, my this is me personality type is CSD, which means I believe that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And I have a positive thinker. After taking communication assessments with a maximum score of 100, I received an overall score of 82. This is translated as being an excellent communicator. My background and my behavior blends have influenced my conversation in a positive manner. I am sure of myself and I am confident. However, from a negative perspective, I have been known to be judgmental at times and have been known to be too easygoing. As I examined potential barriers that may occur, these barriers may consist of physical barriers, daydreaming, fatigue, And these barriers can be dealt with by avoiding personal problems creeping into our thoughts. Next slide, please. There are two types of noise pollutions, internal and external. The first one, internal distractions, causes a person to lose focus while listening to the talker. The second one, external distractions, the listener's ability to listen is affected by the distractions such as clicking sounds and lawnmowers, child crying, etc. Next slide. Finally, my plan of action to reach my overarching goal are to enlarge the conversation, gather new and useful information, to avoid being judgmental, and lastly, to apply all the information obtained from this course and other resources that are available to aid me in achieving level 1 listening and effective communication. Thank you. My name is Anthony Vereen. Today I will be conducting